Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Last of Us series. This is episode 3 of season 1 and it is called Long Time. Last episode, it was basically just an entire episode about them getting from point A to point B, having to navigate these dangerous buildings and the things they encounter as they're getting through this scenario. It sounds so basic, but it was done so well. It was worthy of an entire episode, and I'm a fan of action and suspense and things like that as well, so even though I love the dramatic elements and really good scenes of dialogue, I also don't mind a complete episode just about them getting through some messed up building with zombies all over the place. We got to see those creepy mushroom headed zombies, and then Joel shot one and it was touching the ground, which alerted a horde who are connected fungally through the ground. That's one of the ways they communicate, and this entire horde showed up, and Tess basically sacrificed herself, knocked over some fuel canisters, threw a box of grenades on the floor, and then just as one of the zombies was at her, she managed to get her lighter lit and explode the entire place, and that's where we ended off. So I can't wait to get into this week's episode. I've been looking forward to it all week. This is episode 3, season 1, The Last of Us, Long Time. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. No cold open this time. Shame on you, Last of Us. I was starting to expect them every episode. I suppose I got spoiled with 2 cold opens in the first 2 episodes, so I can't complain. But I was loving how they were shedding light on the backstory and seeing how it all started to occur over in Jakarta in Indonesia. And also the one from episode 1 with the guy on the talk show talking about the dangers of the fungus in the 60s. It makes me want every episode to start with a cold open flashback. I'm just being greedy though. Have they already made it this far away from the city? Looks like they're in the middle of nowhere now. It's a fine rock. Damn. I wonder if that's a computer composite image, because if that is all just straight up location, that is a pretty amazing piece of scenery right there. There must have been a little time jump between the start of this and the last episode. They are quite far away from any sort of city now.
Nobody made you or Tess take me. Nobody made you go along with this plan.
I still don't know what relationship Tess and Joel had. Were they man and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, just 2 friends, like dealing with the apocalypse together? I don't know if there was a bit of throwaway dialogue I missed, but obviously they slept in the same bed, but still that could be multiple things. I feel bad for him for losing her though. If anything, she was at least a very good friend.
Much longer?
5-hour hike.
Yeah, 5-hour hike's alright. Get to see some sights. If the zombies don't get you, the mountain lions might. The people that got to location scout this show legit just got to go to a bunch of amazing places for the day and take photographs and get paid well for it. It's an envious job, a location scout. You could proper abuse that job. Just say to the director like, yeah, I need a little budget for us to go and location scout out at one of them beaches on Spain. Director's like, we're looking for a medieval castle setting. Well, you never know until you go.
Did you suck at shooting or like in general?
In general.
Nice. All-round failure.
Seeing as it's just the 2 of us, I was thinking I should
I do think Ellie should also get a weapon. 2 gun hands are better than 1.
Why do you have stuff stashed here?
You ask a lot of goddamn questions.
Yes.
But you know, she doesn't know this guy. They're literally transporting her across the country. What else are you going to do with that 5-hour hike time? Gotta ask some questions.
No way. You ever play this one?
Oh wow, Mortal Kombat 2. If I found that in an apocalypse, I would be giving an even more ecstatic response to seeing it than she did.
Forgot where you put your stuff.
No. I'm just zeroing in on it.
Classic man response to being called wrong there. Can relate. Oh shit, secret basement. Always worth investigating. Potentially lethal, but potentially profitable. So roll of the dice. And I'm a fucking gambling man. Let's go in the basement. It's like 1 floor below them. Didn't sound deep. This has got jump scare potential written all over it. I mean, it does look empty. But yeah, just know I am preparing for a jump scare. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh man. Seriously, the creature design. I think she's safe because it seems to be completely trapped under that rubble, but the spores coming off the head and shit. This creature design is not getting old to me. It's such a genius way to do zombies. And all you need to do is do each one different by altering the spore patterns on their bodies, I guess, and how badly it's affected them. Needless to say, that is fucking gross. That's some good effects. Quite a humane thing to do. At the end of the day, that's just a human being kept in a state of living and death limbo by a parasite in their brain, so quite a cool thing to do. That was a dude just trapped under some rubble, being kept alive for as long as possible by a fungus. Completely acceptable to stab them in the face.
What are you doing?
There's not much ammo out there for this thing.
You're just gonna leave it there?
No.
I definitely do not think she would be capable of wielding an M16. Especially not on automatic mode. She might be able to sit it on a wall and use single, but automatic, she would be sent round the room.
You flying one of those?
A few times, sure.
So lucky.
Didn't feel like it at the time.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that since she's obviously born in the apocalypse, she would have never have experienced something like aeroplane flight. It's weird to think about that.
How did it even start? If you have to get bit to be infected, then who bit the first person?
Oh, I've got some cold opens I can show you. Clue you right in.
No one knows for sure, but best guess, cordyceps mutated.
It was definitively in Jakarta, Indonesia, where the first case came from that flower factory. So did that information get suppressed by the Indonesian government, or did people just forget, or has that information just been lost? Because it seemed quite definitive exactly how it started.
They started to get sick, and they started biting.
The biting's definitely the worst part, I would say.
By Monday, everything was gone.
Imagine just in the space of a few days, the entire world just completely changing forever. Probably won't happen in our lifetime, definitely could happen. It seems like the military did some absolutely heinous shit when this went down. I mean, we saw it firsthand with how that guy opened fire on Joel and his daughter the night it all started, but they must have killed so many of their own citizens.
Why not just leave him be?
Dead people can't be infected.
Absolutely ruthless. Not sure if precautions like that are necessary. I mean, try and think about it from their perspective though. It's hard to do, but imagine you were tasked with this decision and this thing was just breaking out at an increasingly rapid rate and literally destroying the world. You would have to exercise really ruthless caution under them circumstances, but still, could you kill an innocent life without testing to see if they were infected or not? That's when it just gets a bit unhuman. Quarantine zones I can somewhat sympathise with. You know, you lock off the city. If you're unfortunate enough to not be infected but be in the city, that is your fault for not getting out of that quarantine zone to stop the spread. Completely with that. Who is this guy, and how is he able to watch the military like this? He's definitely got a banging supply of weapons. I would 100% want to come and hang out with this guy during the apocalypse. And he's got a secret entrance to his lair. This guy's basically Batman. So cool that he's just chose to stay in the, I don't know if it was his house to begin with, but he's just staying in a suburban street in a house. He's ready, he's got all the guns, he's got a basement hideout. Home Depot would be pretty chilled with no other human alive. I'm loving it. He's literally living like, you know, there is no police left, no military left. Why not smash through some padlocked steel chain linked gates? I like to think I would be like this dude if the world came to an end. I feel like I'd thrive in that setting, and you can tell straight away this is an individual absolutely thriving under these conditions. I mean, are there even zombies around? My man is just chilling like there hasn't been a deadly fungal outbreak. Nice little pitfall traps. It's a pretty shit carrot, but it's a post-apocalyptic carrot, which doubles its length. I suppose because animals have not been infected by this virus, hunting would still be a very viable food source in these circumstances.
Oh!
Didn't even need to move. Booby Trap did it for him. And he's got the whole area gated off as well. This guy is an absolute legend. And that's weird, so we saw his sort of prologue there. And now we're going into him in the present, I'm assuming. Not much seems to have changed in those 4 years, to be honest. He's probably just got even more booby traps.
Are you hurt? It's just a bruise.
Not sure if I trust this guy though. He's cautious, but at least he doesn't have a shoot first, ask questions later mentality when someone says they aren't infected. But I notice he does have the machine there. If this thing goes red, this guy is a goner. Okay, you're safe.
I'm really hungry. Haven't eaten in 2 days.
Oh, he's trying to get inside your building, don't trust him.
If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is going to show up here looking for a free lunch.
I agree with this guy in this situation. You can't be giving out free food to everybody. The entire town will show up and use all your supplies. Although cautious, this guy is a good host. I hope this guy's just as he seems. I love this new character we've just been introduced to. He better not fuck him up.
A man who knows to pair rabbit with a Beaujolais.
He pulls it like an absolute professional.
There is more.
No, I can't. I want to. Believe me.
It is amazing how normal a lifestyle that this guy has managed to live during all this chaos. I think his gates are electric, he's got it round the entire place, he lives in a nice house, he's got all the supplies he needs. Absolute adapter to his environment.
So I guess I'll be going then.
I don't know if this guy wants to stay longer or what.
1948.
Wow. You know how much these are worth?
Currently nothing.
eBay's kinda took a dip due to all the zombies.
Love will abide, take things in stride.
He's doing better than I fucking could.
No, sir. No, thank you. Sorry. Not this song. Not this song.
Well,
Even in a post-apocalypse, you are not drawing any crowds.
Take things in stride.
Yeah, his version is much better. He went for the more subdued, soulful version.
That's what someone told me.
No, he's killing this shit.
For a long, long time.
I mean, you didn't have to show him up that badly, but you really brought your A game up here, dialed it up to 11. In your face, random guest at my house. Did you like the steak? Did you like the performance? Up your game. Oh, are these two guys into one another? I completely did not see that whatsoever. It's like Brokeback Mushroom Cloud. There is no way this scene was in the video game. This is definitely 100% some shit they've added for the TV show.
have you ever done this before? Not with anyone?
Or maybe it was. Was this a minigame? Hold RS upward to stroke chest hair.
Come on! Hey! Would you stop?
Another 3-year time jump. And this guy's managed to wrangle his staying there for 3 years. He did well. First it was a night, then a couple days. He got 3 years. That's impressive.
9/11 was an inside job, and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
They definitely are in this world. They will shoot you on sight.
I'll do everything else myself.
It is not
Bill,
a
if you say resource management, so help me, I will run through one of your tripwires.
Fucking do it. Resource management is probably the single most important thing to have on lockdown in a time like they're experiencing.
And I'm fixing up some of the shops.
Whoa.
Not the stupid ones, just the wine shop and the furniture store.
God, this guy is looking to redecorate the neighbourhood.
We are going to have friends.
Excuse me?
I had a feeling this was going to lead to more people coming into here. It's Joe. These are actually good friends.
On a side, which I get, by the way. How nice this is to have a civilized meal.
And Tess, wow. So I wonder when this takes place. Maybe 12 years after it first happened is my best guess. Like 8 years, 12 years or something.
We're actually decent people just trying to get by.
Oh. Well, aren't I the lucky one?
Actually, you are, kinda.
Get that gun out of my face.
A reasonable request.
Prepper or something?
Survivalist.
Oh, okay, so he had that bunker long before the shit went down.
That fence has got a year on it. Tops. Galvanized wire already started to corrode.
Throwing some fence shade, that took him down a peg or two.
Raiders. They'll beat that fence and your tripwires. They'll come at night.
Always got to prepare for a raider attack in the post-apocalypse. These gangs are everywhere. And the guy said they'd be fine. Not sure about that. You never know what size a gang will show up and how savvy they would be towards your booby traps. Another 3-year time jump.
Pick it up!
This section of this episode is crazy.
I got something to show you. Huh? Not that.
Imagine being able to go for a morning jog in the apocalypse.
Oh!
Are they tomatoes or strawberries? These guys are living the single best pound-for-pound life possible, considering there is a literal zombie outbreak going on. You know it's been rough when eating a strawberry makes you giddily laugh.
What?
Okay, starting to think this guy maybe didn't have an ulterior motive. Either that or he is playing the long game, because this has been like 6 years now, or 9 years even. I hardly expect him to wake up someday now and be like, haha, this was all just a ploy to get one of your guns, 9 years well spent, bang. And just as predicted by Joe, this will be a raider gang besieging their beautiful suburban home. Oh shit! Flamethrower defenses, that is incredible.
Bill!
These guys are having a hard time getting through this fence. He shouldn't have been standing out of cover like that though. Seems a bit untactical for a man like him.
I got you.
Those flamethrowers are putting in work. He had half of their squad barbecued before he'd even left his front door. But he also looks like he's just taken a fatal gut shot.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like this is probably fatal. It's also the position of the body where in movies people die a slower death so they can get a little monologue out before they pass. It's the exact spot. Oh, he survived. No way. And it's the other guy in a wheelchair. What the fuck happened in those 10 years? Suppose it just could have been aging. It also could have been some sort of event that occurred during those 10 years. I wish we got to see what led him to being in the wheelchair. I think the real reason this guy stayed here was the food. I think the food was so good it instantly turned him gay for the chef. This has been a mad episode though. It's like the zombie version of getting to see how the other side of life live. Most human beings are out here struggling, scraping to survive. These guys are having morning jogs and growing strawberries. And your face cordyceps fungus. Still can't believe that guy survived the gunshot wound. He literally looked like he'd stopped moving with his eyes open. Then 10 years later, nope, he's fine. False alarm. Do you know when you think someone's been shot to death, but then they haven't? You know, when you get things a bit muddled up in your head, oh, I thought you'd been brutally murdered. You actually haven't. It happens to us all.
This is my last day.
Has he decided to kill himself?
There wasn't anything to cure this before the world fell apart. I've made up my mind.
Very true. One of the hardest things to have in a world-ending situation would be a good doctor. You would definitely want to track one down and encompass him into your crew.
I'm not going to give you the every day was a wonderful gift from God speech. I've had a lot of bad days.
You ungrateful fuck. He pulled you out of a pit and gave you steak and blowjobs.
Starting now, make me some toast.
Here, it's your last day. You can't be bossing anybody. Tomorrow you're dead. No, make your own toast, dead man.
Then you will crush all of these up, put them in my wine.
This is absolutely brutal. How dare this show have the audacity to let us follow this story of these two people over the course of 20 years, and then at the end of it be like, oh yeah, then one of them decides to kill himself. And again, is this storyline in the game, or was this completely invented for the TV show? The only connection it seemed to have to Joel so far was that he was like swapping supplies with these guys.
Love me the way I want you to.
This guy's going to be absolutely crushed tomorrow, being in this place by himself again. He was scared to let anybody in, probably for these reasons, that it's completely heartbreaking a scenario, and he'd learned to live a happy life on his lonesome. Then all of a sudden this dude shows up, becomes his partner for the next 20 years, and then one day takes that away from him against his will, not by accident, not by zombie attack, but by his own choosing due to his illness. It seems a bit fucked up. When you lump this level of burden on someone and then say like, but I want to have the best day ever, that other person ain't going to have the best day ever. Even if you are like, tra-la-la-la-la, I'll be dead tomorrow. The other person's like, oh my god, this is the last moments I ever get with this person. It's going to be absolutely heartbreaking for them. And as much as they try to be joyous, it's going to be damn near impossible. I seriously cannot believe they have legit just shown us this entire story over 20 years from beginning to end and are finishing it on such a raw and uncalled for note. These people are absolutely heartless. I think to add some comedy to this, he should give a slow monologue about how the throne was his by birthright as the other guy drinks his wine and then chuckles evilly as the guy swallows. Just to, you know, bring us back down with a bit of humour during the man's death. If he's watched Game of Thrones, he'd get it. He'd be like, you're being saucy, Now if you thought the last glass was good, this shit's gonna send you to the fucking moon. One lethal dose for the gentleman to the left. All these episodes are great, but who thought of this order writing-wise? Like, okay, episode 1 we're gonna show the past and how it led up to where we are, introduce the main characters and shit, and what we're gonna do episode 2, further the plot and talk about the character interactions and the great No. Episode 2 they're gonna go through a building. Okay, so you're going for a more actiony vibe. What's episode 3 gonna be? They have to wade through sewers or something? No, we're gonna follow the story of two men who fall in love and spend 20 years together, then one of them gets a disease and kills himself. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if episode 4 included a 35-minute pod race segment. One thing you have to love about digital streaming though is it's negated the traditional need to write to an exact time, 25 minutes then 5 minutes for ads, 25 minutes then 5 minutes for ads, or however long your show is they were writing to specific television slots. Now it's streaming. I noticed that like episode 1 of The Last of Us was 1 hour and 25 minutes, episode 2 was 50 minutes, episode 3 is again 1 hour and 15 minutes. Like they don't need to write to these specific maths. They can let the scenes play out for longer if they need to, and they can tell the exact story they need to tell without chopping. speeding things up or slowing things down to meet a time constraint.
Stay there.
And instantly we get to see how it fits in, because now we're back in the present time and they have reached this location. I wonder if the other guy will even still be alive. He'll definitely be a very different character than the one we got to see. He'll be very closed again and somber, I would imagine.
Bill? Frank?
Okay, so he might not be still alive, but at least raiders never took this place. It doesn't look like it's been ransacked. If Bill and Frank are both gone, I hope they find a weapon basement and get all the good guns. It'll be like that scene in Terminator 2 in the desert.
So they're dead?
Mm-hmm.
Did he put pills in his cup of wine as well, so they could both die together?
The bunker code is the same as the gate code, but in reverse.
Oh, bunker access, here we go. Rest in peace to Bill and Frank, but this is a great day for Joel and Ellie and Team Machine Gun. Andy's pickup truck. Damn, this is Christmas for Joel.
I have a brother out in Wyoming. He's in some kind of trouble and I'm heading out there to find him.
Ah, so Tommy is his actual brother.
You don't bring up Tess, ever. Matter of fact, we can just keep our histories to ourselves.
I guess that's how he's managed to deal with it all these years, is to just literally never speak about it and never try and think about it. Sometimes that's the only coping mechanism left.
This guy was a genius.
I second that.
Dude,
No.
there's a wall of them.
Oh, that's a beautiful lever action rifle. Let her have it. I bet she'll be able to do the swivel cock like Arnie in Terminator 2. Second time I've referenced Terminator 2 in this reaction. What a film.
They have hot water. I'm taking a shower. And then you're showering.
It is seriously incredible the setup that Bill and Frank had. Living the life of luxury while the world fell apart around them. Usually I'd be so against drawer rummaging, but in the apocalypse, this is part of the fun. This isn't a bad thing to me. She does need her own pistol. This could save her life. Beats walking though. What an upgrade.
It's your first time in a car?
It's like a spaceship.
I'm trying to even imagine what it would be like to first go in a car if you'd never been in one before. It'd definitely be some mad shit. She literally looks amazed. They never showed us what guns they took from the bunker. Surely they must have grabbed some shit. That guy had so much ammo, and Joel was talking about earlier in the episode he didn't have much ammo for his M16. That guy had him covered. Okay, and that was episode 3 of season 1 of The Last of Us Long Time. And I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, long time, what did I think of that? Crazy episode, to be honest. This show goes all over the place with its choice of episode and how they're paced and what sort of genre almost they're going to be, but each one is so interesting because of that. You literally never know what you're going to see next with this show. We started by following, I don't know if it was Frank or Bill, but one of them, incredibly self-sufficient, brilliant defence, an absolute cavalcade of spare weaponry and ammo. This guy had the apocalypse figured out. And then one day, either Frank or Bill, again I forget which one, gets caught in one of his traps. They make friends, they become lovers. The guy manages to stay there for 3 years. They end up getting into radio communication with people like Joel in the city so they can trade for rare seeds such as strawberries. Having a great life. We follow them through this entire thing. Just for the story to have such a tragic ending, with one of them getting worse with an illness they have, deciding to take their own life. I guess they both chose to die together and both drink those cups spiked with the pills, and then they just lay down in bed and died alongside one another. Absolutely tragic little story to take us through, by the way. And then just when I was wondering how this ties into the larger story, Joel and Ellie show up there in present time after all this has already went down, and basically get free range choice of all the shit left behind by Bill and Frank, including the pickup truck all the ingredients necessary to make a brand new battery, and a bunker full of weaponry. Of course, rest in peace to those two guys, but that was quite the birthday for Joel and Ellie. They basically got anything they wanted, warm showers before they left, pickup truck full of ammo, good times ahead for these guys. And of all the vehicles you could have had, a pickup truck's great because it's one of the few things that can handle off-road pretty well, and I'm assuming they wouldn't be able to just stick to roads in this situation. They're probably going to have to do a little bit of off-roading. Don't worry, the baby blue pickup truck's got you fucking covered. And you also have to give respect to the fact that this show has the balls to deviate from the main plot like this for an episode and just sit with something and let you follow something else for a bit and then go back into the story we're following. To be fair, it makes for far more interesting television. Thinking about it, if every episode was Joel and Ellie, if it was being in any way true to the games, many episodes would be similar. We follow them, they have to go to a location, there's suspense, things start to get creepy, and then fungus zombies pop out, someone gets bit, they have to kill them all, and then manage to get out unscathed by the end of the episode. You wouldn't want every episode of your TV series to follow that exact same format. You have to think of creative and good ways to keep the interest of the viewer while not letting them know what's going to come next. And I love the fact that this show just goes, you know what, let's just show them an entirely different story. Let's show them snippets from 20 years worth of it, and then just go back into our main story. Some people don't like that shit. Like, I remember when Breaking Bad did it with the episode The Fly, where it completely deviated from furthering the plot in any way, and it just became about a man's struggle with a fly in his laboratory. Simple as that. Completely held my attention for the entire 60 minutes. I absolutely loved that episode. It is some people's favourite episode and other people's least favourite. Quite polarising. But yeah, me personally, I like it when a series has the balls to just deviate for a minute and let you look at something else within that world. And I think this episode is a prime example of it being done well. And now Ellie's got a pistol. They were setting that up like it's some dangerous shit and she was being very sneaky about it. But in the long run, I mean, one of two things can happen from Ellie getting the pistol. As a writer, if I'm thinking like a writer, like the first thing could be Joel gets in a near-death situation and then bang, we turn to see that Ellie has used the gun and she's got a gun. He is shocked that she has a gun, but obviously thankful she has saved him. The other way it could be written is that Ellie, while Joe's not around, has an encounter with a zombie, uses the gun when she shouldn't, and the noise attracts more zombies, getting her in trouble with Joe for having a gun and using it, and that's why he didn't want her having the gun, because she would do something like that. Her having that gun can, in my mind, only be written one of those two ways. And yeah, just another great episode, and I cannot wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.